You know, and the whole time I was on that Greyhound bus, I was scared. I was nervous. I was like, what she doesn't like me in person? You know, at that time, I was a bit subconscious about my speech impediment. I was like, what if she finds out my stutter is too much? Because I didn't really stutter too much while her and I were talking. I stuttered a little bit, but not as much. Sometimes when I'm very tired, I stuttered a lot more, or when I'm sick, or when I'm stressed out. I was thinking about everything that could go wrong. And part of that was like, what if she doesn't show up? What if she leaves me stranded at the Greyhound, then I'm stuck here? Of course, you know, I had money to get back to wherever I needed to go, but still, my heart would have been broken. Because in my mind, I thought this woman is out of my league. Like, how am I getting a woman this beautiful? And since I felt she was out of my league, I was thinking about everything that could go wrong. And I remember I had a Boost mobile phone, right? I didn't have a smartphone. Even though smartphones were very much a thing, I never had one because I never really could afford one. And I was a pure Android guy. So I had an old Android Boost mobile like flip phone. You know, I was lagging behind in the technology area of my life. And I would text her, I'm like, you're going to be there, right? You're not going to leave me hanging. Of course, she thought this was weird that I kept asking her that, but she kept reassuring me. She's like, yeah, I'm going to be there. And at that time, she wasn't a nurse yet. She was an STNA, a state certified nursing assistant. She was going to school to be an RN still. I had like $19,000 in my bank account. I had saved up enough to, to pay her, mod her to marry her, to get us a start off place, to get us a start off car, and to get our life together. So I arrive at the Greyhound bus station, and my heart's pounding in my chest. I'm like, man, I'm about to meet this woman. Y'all remember those old Tom and Jerry cartoons? Like whenever, when the cartoons they see a woman they like, their eyes pop out of their head, their tongue rolls out of their mouth, and their heart's pounding like this. That's how I felt. I was nervous, man. I was sweating. I'm like, and my whole life I've been some type of like some player. I've always been good with women. So feeling the way I felt, as nervous as I was to meet this woman, was new to me. But I'm at the Greyhound station, right? And she's not there. I'm looking around for her. I'm texting her. I'm calling her. And she's not answering. And in my mind, it automatically jumps to the worst case scenario. She stood me up. Of course, that's not what happened, but in my mind, that's how I felt. My anxiety was kicking in. My PTSD was kicking in. And I thought, man, I allowed myself to be hurt again. Just as I was about to give up, she called me.